Hey guys, in the original ProCut test video, I couldn't coax the superior edge retention out of ProCut steel that its capture testing suggests is possible. And it wasn't quenching as hard or tempering as expected. And I want to be clear, Laren Thomas's testing is not wrong, and he's not trying to fool anyone. And Pops, who exclusively sells the product, is not up to monkey shines. Pops is great. I order all my grit from Pops because they ship faster than anyone else, and they're fellow knife enthusiasts. The problem with this steel is either with me and my shop, or less likely, Pops was delivered a problematic melt with maybe some inconsistencies or something. I don't know. I'm going to do some more testing today at Pops' suggestion, and I'll show you guys a chart with all the results later. After the last video, Pops sent me a new bar of ProCut and an email suggesting I try holding my heat treat oven at temperature for 30 to 45 minutes before introducing the knife for soaking to make sure the entire oven is up to temperature, and or trying a higher quench temperature to see if I can get the advertised post-quench HRC of 67-ish. So I'm going to give it a shot. Here I'm quenching from 1600 degrees, and I won't put the knife in the oven for nearly an hour to make sure it's up to temperature. All right, I've done hardness testing twice on this knife now. The first set was 65 to 66, and then I ground it all the way so I couldn't see the dimples from the first test anymore. And then I did the second test of setting with 4 tests on this side and 2 on this side, and it's all the same. It comes in between 65 and 66. I'll go ahead and temper this. We'll get a sort of a initial temper curve. I'm going to try to get it close to 63.5, and we'll retest it through rope and just see if it performs the same from a higher temperature, higher quench temperature. All right, so this was tempered at 310 degrees, and I got a bunch of 63, 63 and a half, 164, and 165 readings. So I'm just going to say that this is 63 and a half roughly, just like it was last time at 310 degrees. Number to beat's 11. Ooh, I like that. All right, 8 cuts, it's really slowing down. Now remember, this was quenched from 1600 degrees. The higher you go on the quench, the more toughness, but the less edge retention, according to Laren. So we're starting to get bogged down with 8 cuts. That's not a good sign. Let's check the edge here. Sorry, ran out of batteries there. All right. So probably actually went 7 cuts, maybe 8 cuts. All right, I'm back, and I decided to go ahead and grind away the entire bevel, the secondary bevel, the entire edge, to make sure that there's no decarb. You might be able to see there how far back I ground. But I ground away the whole sharpened edge, and then I resharpened it, and I had to reprofile the sides a little bit to thin it back down for the behind the edge thickness. But it's been resharpened. There definitely shouldn't be decarb this time. I already ground back the edge after heat treating for that purpose, but now definitely should not be any. So our post-quench HRC wasn't that different, and as expected, performance and edge retention went down. Remember, the advertised quench range is roughly 1500 to 1650 degrees, with the lower temperatures favoring edge retention and higher temperatures favoring toughness. I've tried this steel at 1525 and 1550 degrees in the previous video, and now 1600 degrees. What if we go down to 1490 degrees? What kind of edge retention can we get there? Let's check it out. So after a quench from 1490 degrees Fahrenheit, we're getting HRC readings much closer to advertised here. There was 166 and 367 readings here. Once again, we tempered this down to 63, 64 HRC. That was at 315 degrees Fahrenheit. Maybe a little boost in performance there through rope, not a big one. Let's go ahead and drop the balls on it, see what happens. And then I'll check the tip for tip retention. Big ball had a pretty big deformation with a tiny little chip in the middle. The small balls did really well. I think overall this is a pretty good test result. Tip retention doesn't go very well. Here are two of the other knives I made out of ProCut, 1525 and 1550 degree Fahrenheit quenches. Stabbed them in the 2x4 just like the last one. They held up fine with their tips. Here's my compiled results I was telling you about. On the left is the 52100 at 62 HRC. The three results to the right are all ProCut at different quench temperatures, 1490, 1525, and 1550, and then 1600 degrees Fahrenheit. As you can see, as we go up in quench temperature, we do in fact seem to lose some edge retention. And then I think you could argue on the other side that the lower, probably the less tough it is. All right, so those are my results in my shop. You guys have to do your own testing, see what results you get and what kind of performance you get out of the steels as you heat treat them and process them. For me, if I made more choppers or bigger knives, I think this could find a place in the rotation. For the types of knives I'm doing now, I just don't see that it outperforms any other steel that I'm forging right now.